if my uh, phone service, my picture thing fell off. If my phone service is going to allow me to do this because it's been storming for most of the day. I gotta get some new Velcro, I guess, for that. It got so hot in here that it fell off. And this reminds me, I got a mosquito bite on my face. I'm just gonna put a little bit of this on there. Cool. But yeah, I just want to do a little surprise pop up. Yeah, just a little surprise pop up. Because I was like taking notes and going over some things, working on some of my content ideas, and I just thought I would jump on here and while I'm doing it, because why not? We're gonna get my watch time hours up on here, and so I figured like the live streaming helps with that as well. And if I'm gonna be doing this anyway, then I'm just gonna like just be on here while I'm doing this. So um, I'll probably be focused some of the time. I mean, I will be. So if I'm not looking here, it's because I'm looking at my notes and things. So let me move this more like here. Cool. And this here. Oh, this will fall over again. All right, cool. So yeah, just going over my notes. And I was like, let me just hop on live because I can like talk out loud, which is what I did yesterday, and I enjoyed that. And I had some good conversation with people that jumped on here with me, and yeah, just talk out loud and go over some of like I have a dump file where sometimes I'll like every once in a while take all of my notes and kind of compile them into one area, and then eventually I'll come back and like look at it and see what sticks out to me again. So that's what I'm doing today, is just looking at this. And what was I writing? And then I don't know, I just thought I would hop on here and try to think. I don't know what I was looking at that was like, let me get on live. Anyway, let me get back into this. Is the filter mirrors? You know how mirrors were made? I don't know. I can look it up, but I think it's something like glass, and then they took like silver or something, and they put it on the back side of the glass. Somebody let me know, how were mirrors made? Because before we had a mirror, we didn't know what we looked like. And anytime I think about what we perceive ourselves to be, obviously we have cameras and stuff now. I think about the Matrix. I think it's the most recent one, and how when was it Neo that looked in the mirror and he looked like an old man? Like he could see himself when he looked in the mirror, but on the outside he was an old man or something like that. So it makes me think of us and like how we perceive ourselves, and do other people perceive us differently than that. Hello, Tennessee Whiskey. Thanks for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me, y'all. I'm just going over my notes and just gonna be talking out loud here. Um, but yeah, I don't know, just thinking about mirrors and then like us perceiving ourselves. Like, is that even true? What we see. Because then it's like the whole thing of I don't know if I can compare body dysmorphia to that, because we see what we see, but we just don't feel good about what we see. So I don't know if that would be the same thing as completely seeing a different person in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? I always think like twins. What is it? Fraternal twins when they look exactly alike. I always think that's pretty trippy. Because like if you looked at your like someone else who looks exactly like you, that's wild. And then if you've ever saw the documentary, what's it called on Hulu, with the triplets, the guys who didn't even know that they had any other siblings, and come to find out it's like a whole conspiracy, like a science experiment and all this. Um, and the boys did not know that they had any siblings. Come to find out they had two others that looked just like them, and they found out through like the news, and one bumped in one had friends at the same college as the other, or something like that. Like, and then the dude came and knocked on the door, and he opens the door, and it's somebody who looked exactly like him. That's wild. You went your whole life not knowing that. And come to find out you actually have somebody that looks exactly like you. That's pretty trippy. But anyway, I was just thinking about mirrors and the invention of mirrors. Like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, the mind interprets. Intend. Intend means to direct one's attention. All right, what's going on, y'all? What y'all got going on? I'm just going over some notes. Pathway between memory and imagination. Basically, these notes are about reprogramming your subconscious mind. Basically, and well, usually we go straight line, but I'm going vertical for this. And then we have optical illusions and lenses and distortion. All right. What is it? Friday? It's Friday. Thursday. Look, my day's all mixed up. It feels kind of like a Friday. I guess because this rain, it threw me off. Then I had all the puppies over here, all 7 other puppies. Then they started peeing and stuff. They got to get trained. But then I look out the window and I saw something in the yard, this big black thing, and the head looked like the head of like a cobra. Hey, what's up? Light off. The head looked like a cobra. But initially I was like, I saw the chickens and turkeys out, so I was like, oh, maybe it's a chicken. But it never turned its head, even when I like knocked on the window. And I'm like, we don't have no chicken that look that dark. And I opened the door and the head went down. And so then I went and walked closer, and it was a huge snapping turtle. Like out in the yard. Like there's not a pond that's like right next to me or anything like that. It just appeared out of nowhere. Um so yeah. Yes, they're German Shepherd puppies. Yep, there's 7 of them. And they're so cute. What am I doing? I'm just looking over my notes, kind of putting some things together for content, future content. And I was like, I'll just jump on live while I'm doing this and think out loud. And, we can talk and hang out for a little bit. But yeah, it was like a huge turtle. I was like, what? Like, you're not supposed to be here. And it looked like pretty old too. But maybe that's just what snapping turtles look like when they get to that age. Maybe he's not really that old. Where am I from? Originally, I don't know. I've traveled around. I'm in the States on the East Coast. Where are you from? Who's this? Light off? Make these like little. Okay. But yeah. All right. Foundation. Fundamental. Well, I've been talking about story. I think that would be next on this. Actions and habits. Vision. Vitality. Superconscious. Do I think it from? Oh, you're in India. Cool. Nice. Dang. Yeah. Rich history. That's cool. So you think about coming here to get your psychology BA? Hey, I guess if you found the right school, you want to come to. That'd be cool though. So India though, like, what time is it there? It's got to be late or early. I don't know. What time is it? Super conscious and subconscious. What's super conscious? Let's look some stuff up. Yesterday I was talking about the color blue in birds and how it's not real. It's an optical illusion. 6 in the morning. I figure I'm like, geez, it's got to be early. What? Why aren't you going? What? You're just skipping out. So then I guess it's Friday there. So you just gonna have a good weekend, nice long weekend. All right, let's search this. What is super conscious? Is that even a thing? I've just heard it before. Super con. Oh wait, conscious. Okay, the superconscious is a proposed higher aspect of the human mind, transcending ordinary consciousness and subconsciousness to represent wisdom, intuition, and creative genius. So that's a deeper level than subconscious. That's interesting. So you have your conscious mind, which is 10%. So is that why they say we only use a certain percentage of our mind? So there's the conscious mind, the subconscious, about 50, 60%, and then the superconscious, 30, 40%. What? I don't know. Okay. Do I believe in God? You're writing an essay on faith and fear from God. Do you think it's worth it? To write on that topic? I think so. Because that, like, so much is affected by belief, first of all. Belief in general affects everything. We operate out of belief. That's the foundation. Now, of course, then there's religion, the different religions, and then that dictates things. And it also affects politics. It affects all the things around us. So I do believe that it's important. Um, do you have to believe in God to have faith? Maybe a different question. Well, what's the story? I want to hear about this. Excuse me. About how the mind works. It's how emotions work. I mean, I'm a big proponent on faith, and I mean, I don't pigeonhole God into a religion either. Um, in most religions, I mean, the basic structure and storyline's all the same, pretty much. It's just a different God, and they, fit it to fit the mold to their standards of living and whatever. We can say it's control, things like that. Um, I do believe that there is a creator, a source, if you want to call it God. And I do believe in faith. I do, like, you gotta have faith to do a lot of things. She blessed you with your books and stuff. Huh. I think the fear part of it then is another discussion too. So we're fearing God, but I think that's the thing with the religions, or that it's not just that, like, the underlying thing is, yeah, oh, you fear God, so you don't do certain things and you only do certain things to appease God. So it's really just about how your value and worth from your actions or your works. in the eyes of God. That's your whole life, basically. I want to hear more of this story about your dream. There we go. It was very. I never thought she felt. You felt her hand and remembered how she smelled. Oh wow! So that helps you out, and she left you those books and stuff. That's pretty cool. That's cool. So did you? Well, yeah, you said you were very close to her. Huh. Interesting. That's cool. I mean, dreams, that's a whole other topic too. I mean, I've talked about this with other people before, and I mean, that can be a deep discussion right there, making a comfortable environment. True. That is true. Thinking of a memory like that, or, I mean, you're saying that you get dreams of her helping you with stuff, so it's maybe not even a memory, it's just a story, envisioning and imagination. That's what I was writing down about. You're imagining her helping you with that stuff because you have so many vivid memories of her and the smell and touch and all that. You're able to pull that together, and your mind thinks it's real. Like, but that's the thing. It's like, well, what is real then at that point? Because, I mean, we can talk about quantum physics and the simulation and all this other stuff, and it's like, it's supposedly we're not actually touching things. It's just it's being repelled and we're feeling the friction. But that's wild to think about. It's pretty hard to conceive that that's what our life is, and that's the reality. And it's really about, like you said, I mean, the senses. I was talking about that recently. Your senses, your smell, taste, touch. If we didn't have these things, how would we know it was real? We had a weird connection, like she told me about something. Oh wow, interesting. Can you? I'm assuming you can like ask her questions or something, because if she helps you with stuff, which then that would be like, okay, energy cannot be destroyed. Dream of her, yeah, that's wild. I think it's pretty powerful, and for you to have some sort of a connection like that, um, whenever you need support, that's good. Good to have that too, especially if she's no longer here physically. Um, some people don't even have that, and I'm sure that's very comforting, and especially if y'all were close too. But yeah, I'd be interested to see what kind of books she left too. And if that's like related to what you believe in, that's pretty cool, keeping that, and you'll be able to pass it on too whenever. That's cool. Thanks for that. You gotta get to the super conscious. Super conscious mind. All right, let's get back on that. A state of expansive awareness, often characterized by feelings of peace, joy, and unity, which can be accessed through meditation or deep introspection. And I mean, from what you said, I mean, they say it can be accessed through meditation or deep introspection. When we're in a deep sleep, that's kind of like this, like the state of our conscious mind is dropped. So we're no longer logically there. So our mind's able to go into other places, I guess. Gita, the is it Bhagavad Gita? I don't know how you say it I can see the word, but I can't ever really say it good. And her perfumes, ooh, nice. That's cool. So you for sure can like, smell her and bring back that memory. That's cool. Key aspects of the superconscious. Higher self, often associated with the higher self. It is the mind of light, or the intelligent, intuitive part of the human psyche. The mind of light. The higher self. Mind of light. Super conscious. Do I think it's possible, or your mind just playing tricks? That's for you. um, I mean, I can give my opinion, but that's for you to decide. It's your experience. Like the Unlike the subconscious associated with habits and dreams. Unlike the subconscious associated with habits and dreams, or the conscious mind, which is daily awareness, the superconscious offers superior, non dualistic, and expansive viewpoints. So, transcending awareness. So, what you're talking about, your dreams, could be subconscious. That's your habits and dreams. Our daily, regular life is conscious. But super consciousness offers superior, non dualistic, and expansive viewpoints. So, I think you need to tap into your super conscious then. It might help. Do you meditate? It is considered the source of profound inspiration and aha moments, guiding individuals towards their highest potential. It is frequently described as the mechanism through which human connection with the infinite or universal intelligence. So, subconscious or unconscious is where your fears, memories, and habits are buried. You laugh once in your dream. Yeah. Yeah, again, dreams are interesting. That's interesting. I know like people who lucid dream, which I guess you're able to control your dreams and maneuver through the dream world. And then there's those who astro travel. Um, yeah, so there's that as well. You worship 20, 30 days. Okay, so it's worshiping. Interesting. So this is Hinduism. So that is that like when there's is it Diwali? I don't know if that's how you say it. Like there's certain times of the year where y'all have holiday like that. Cool. Yeah. I was looking last year I was looking at trying to find somewhere to go to like experience that because they have kind of like a festival of lights or something like that. I thought that'd be pretty cool. But I mean, the people that I talked to, they didn't really know anything. And I looked up one of the, I guess, temples, and they didn't really have much. I mean, they had some things, but I wasn't going by myself because I'd feel weird just walking in there, not knowing anything. Yeah, that's cool though. Cool. And then there's like, is the one with like the colors or something where you have like the different. I'm sure you use like spices or maybe, or is it just like flour? Like turmeric and all that. I don't know, something like that. Subconscious contains fears, memories, and habits. Memories. memories, habits, and the superconscious is the ceiling of the mind. Huh. Ah. Yeah. If you got any questions. Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah. Holy. Ah. Cool. That's cool. So where in India are you? You mind sharing? I'd like to come out there at some point. Experience. I mean, there's a lot of places I want to go, but um, yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Hinduism. I just know a few little bits and pieces of things, and I mean, was it Shiva in Kalima? That's how you say it, I believe. Okay, so the right. Oh, the space here. Let's do this. It says the super conscious. So also though, oh, of course, whenever there's a death in the family and money or anything like that's involved, it gets a little messy with family. Ah, cool. Not that I know Gurgon, but I've heard of Delhi. Delhi, I think that's how you say it. Delhi. That's wild. I mean, sleepwalking. That's another one that's like that's pretty trippy. It's like you have no control over your body. You're just walking. Like it's automatic response, or like are you being controlled? Like how does that work? You're in the dream state somewhere else, but your body is moving as if you were in that place. So that's interesting how when we're sleep regularly, there's a detachment from our body completely to where we don't get up and move around. That'll do it. Man. Sheesh. Well, again, it's good that you're like comforted by, her stuff and even in your dreams and things like that. Super conscious mind. It says it's the ceiling, which is interesting. And then the subconscious is the basement. So I have a question though. Why do you want to go to school for psychology? Like what is it that interests you for that? Or what do you want to do from it? Subconscious. Conscious. I need to charge this iPad because it keeps trying to. Here, maybe I can do this. Maybe that'll help. Okay. And then super conscious. Spiritual potential. But like it's just potential, so higher awareness rather than repetitive thoughts. Interesting. Okay, so to access your superconscious conscience, practices such as meditation, deep introspection, and cultivating states of flow or high level focus is suggested to get into this mental state. Which is so interesting because it's saying that flow is high level focus, but we struggle so much with focus nowadays. I mean, with social media and all this fast paced everything, it's hard for people to even focus. So then we don't get into flow state and we're not accessing this. Can sure mess up. I think that's any family though. Most families are, I mean, you know, everybody's got issues in their families. High level focus. And then, where's it at? Deep introspection, meditation. But I feel like deep introspection, like what? How is that much different than, let me see, the action of contemplation? What's the difference between contemplation and deep introspection? What's the difference between contemplation and deep introspection? What? The main difference is their focus. Contemplation looks outward at a concept, object, or universal truth, while deep introspection looks inward at your own mind, emotions, and motivations. Huh. A concept, object, universal truth. And then introspection looks inward. So contemplation looks outward, deep introspection looks inward. Interesting. You want to study more about this? The mental process, behavior, and experience can shape a mind. You, I want to know how they have this behavior. There are a lot of gods and tribe cultures in India, but again, they can worship female god. But cannot treat the female the same. Hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. True stuff. I was just thinking, yeah, you want to know how they behave this way or why they have that behavior. Yeah. Deep introspection. All right. So contemplation focuses on a concept, object, or universal truth. External concepts, philosophical questions, nature, or sacred text. The goal is to understand a deeper truth, find meaning, and achieve mental stillness. Feels expansive, calm, and objective. Reflecting on the concept of justice or infinity. Then the other one is deliberate analytical examination of your own internal psychological process. Internal thoughts, emotional patterns, biases, and past behaviors. To gain self awareness, understanding why you react certain ways and uncover hidden motives. Well, that sounds like what you're trying to study. Often feels highly personal, analytical, and sometimes emotionally challenging. Examples: journaling to figure out exactly why a specific comment from a coworker made you feel intensely angry. So, deep introspection. Journaling helps with that. And then the other one's meditation, which is contemplation. So, this is more personal. Which makes sense. Oh, I'm not trying to do all that. We're just looking at this real quick. All right, moving on. All right, let me go close this. Moving on. What am I studying? A lot of things. Studying a lot of things. You subscribe, and you'll see. Rights, devotion. System. Oh, what? Oh, that's not what I was looking for. It's interesting what you stumble upon, though, sometimes. I'm not looking for something, but then whatever this is kind of in relation to it. Interesting. You never even knew it was there. All right. What is it? Most complex. So there's 11 major organ systems in the body. 11 major organ systems in the body. Do we know what those things are? Regulates body functions. Integumentary? Huh. That's the skin. How do you say that? Integumentary?
Integumentary.
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 Integumentary. Never heard of that, but I don't think I have. That's interesting. Process sensory information. To and from cells. Protects. Removes waste. Removes production. Controls activities. Enables movement. Defends. Protects. Regulates. Breaks down. Eliminate. And then we have transportation. Circulatory. And then oh wait. Huh. I thought it was only gonna be 3 I wanted to put down, but alright, this. I missed my smaller pens, but I ran out of ink. Cool. What y'all doing out there? Y'all just sitting? Right now on this other one is down. Hmm. Another pen. All right. No, I haven't read on this one. And this would be, put it over here. So I'm moving away from psychology, going more into biology. And okay, I'll move on from this, but I do want to look at what? Oh yeah. Okay, okay. We on to something. We on to something. What's it will feel like next level experience. Psychology and biology are still connected somehow. There were a lot of experimental case studies that were on next level. Yeah, I mean, I believe in holism, so I think it's all connected. It's all connected. And then some people were saying recently, like, basically at the end of the day, it comes down to like numbers, like mathematics. I mean, of course, geometry, and I think it's like geometry. I mean, that's a part of mathematics, if I'm not mistaken. Um, I was gonna say geometry meets mathematics or geometry meets something. I can't remember. Endocrine system is Douglas. Produces and releases. Produces and releases. Uh-huh. See, see, this is it. All right. Mm. You know, in science, I mean, it's obvious that they haven't put a lot of effort into women's studies as far as the way the women's body works. And now there's more of that. I've seen recently in like the last week a lot of announcements on changes in that, and then the fact that there's so many women graduating in the different areas of study that will impact so many people. It's pretty inspiring, and there's gonna be some good stuff to look forward to. As far as that, read the upper text, the paralyzed ones. Huh. That we are somehow connected. All the atoms are somehow a big atom. Yeah. Um, if you want to say God, experiencing itself, and we're all just awareness of different parts of that. I mean, when you look at things like on a macrocosm level down to micro, it all looks the same. I mean, from a an atom, you know, and then or like a cell, you keep looking outward, and I mean, our cities, the world, like on so many levels. What? All right, what was that book? Um, Upper Text. Is that a book? Upper Text, The Paralyzed. All right, let me write that down because so looking at this. Uh, because yeah, I was writing this down. Let me write this first. Where was I? There we go. Which would be diabetes, hypo and hyperthyroidism. Okay. Pineal gland and pituitary gland. Why is it like the everybody depicts the pineal? I don't know. Didn't people like say the pineal gland was like here or something? We always supposed to like look here, but it's like maybe because the what is it? Hypothalamus is here, and that would be where we're actually looking from, technically, I guess. Huh. Hmm. Are you like you are paralyzed? Try by keeping your hands on the table and fold all your fingers except the finger next to the pinky one. Oh yeah, and try to lift it up. Yeah, I've done that before, and you like can't. I feel like that's also kind of the one where it's like women can do this one move or like get up from the ground with their hands behind their back, but men can't or something. They really think that they can, and they just fall on their face. But yeah, um, I mean, I don't want to feel like I'm paralyzed, but I mean that's you know makes you have to think different and all of that at that point. I mean, within secrete, within secrete. Hmm. All right, moving on. Oh, had to finish that real quick. The joints. The females store their body fat in the hips, whereas males is in the thigh and the stomach. Interesting. Hey, what's up? Tina Rula, maybe? I don't know what your name is, but hello. Ooh. All right. What's next? Yeah, I'm holding Rose. Oh man, like here. Getting tired. Second, look up. The faculties of the mind. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. Smash. What are we having here? What are y'all talking about? I'm just going over some of my notes, and I was about to like work on some content because I want to like batch that out because I'm gonna be on the move, and I got things I got to do. So yeah, trying to batch that out in advance if I can. And so yeah, I was kind of looking over all my notes and just looking deeper into certain things, talking out loud. I just figured I'd hop on live while I'm doing that. Just yeah, like I said, speaking out loud while I look up and research things. Do I have an Insta? Yep, you can find me on all social media at Alchemmentor. Just like my name is here on YouTube. If you go to my page, Alchemmentor LAB on here, it's just Alchemmentor. Thank you for hanging out with me. Appreciate it. Good luck with school and family and all that other stuff you got going on. You know, you got this. And sounds like, you got somebody on the other side or on this side. I don't know. That's with you still. So that's cool. All right. To have a specific purpose, plan, or aim in mind. It signifies a deliberate intent to do something. Synonymous with plan, aim, purpose, and mean. Interesting. And this goes under to direct one's attention. Yep. A deliberate intent to do something or for something to have a particular goal. That's the thing, it's all in your mind. Hey, thank you. What's up? Duquan loves animals. What kind of animals you got? What you got? To have in mind as a purpose or goal. To design for specific use. Signify, refer. Intend. To have in mind something to be done or brought about. Okay. I think I'm done with these notes. Wait, the faculties of the mind. Which, I mean, I've been looking into this for a while now, but I just want to look at this. Because I know 6, but sometimes it says 12, which I think it just like branches off of the main 6. Yeah, see, I got the Bob Proctor illustration, which is what I draw over and over in different ways. But I'm just noticing. So that's why, like with books and stuff, you don't just read it once, especially depending on the topic. If you really want to retain and absorb the information, you have to go back again at another day, maybe next year or something like that, because you have a different perspective and you have new experiences that you've had in between. And so you're going to see other things in it. Um, and that's in life in general, too, a lot of times. Like, you may hear something at one point in time and it does not have the same meaning that when you hear it later in life, after experiencing life and all this other stuff and coming from a different perspective, it means something else to you, which is why I think language and words are interesting. But at the end of the day, it's our interpretation, our understanding of it. So the faculties of the mind are the innate, distinct capabilities through which our brains process the world and experience life. Traditionally characterized into intellect, emotion, and will. They shape how we perceive, decide, and act. So there's six core ones. These are the capabilities through which our brains process the world and experience life. Intellect, emotion, and will. Mind, body, soul. Emotion. And this says sensibility next to emotion, which makes me think of our senses. Sensibility, intellect, will, mind, body. Okay. This is capacities. I think I said capability. Distinct capacities through which our brains process the world. And experience life. So it's not just how we process it or interpret it, it's how we actually experience it. We experience it and process it through intellect, emotion, and will. They shape how we perceive, decide, and act. Perceive, decide. Perceive would be our interpretation, right? And act. Um, process. The mind's faculties are broken down into six core mental abilities. This is how you design a future or solve a problem before it physically exists. Will allows you to block out distractions, concentrate deeply on a goal, and execute decisions. Focused attention and intent to intend. We use our will to do that. We use our will to concentrate and block out distractions, but we cannot accomplish goals through will alone. That's just what we do while we're in the action. Perception, your point of view, is not reality itself, but your mind's subjective interpretation of reality. That's the lens through which we see the world. That's the lens, perception. So you have your conceptualized idea that you can visualize, you focus on it, you can perceive through the lens your interpretation. Decide will be will. No, will is act. Decide is intuition, reason. What was that? Reason is capacity to think logically, evaluate information, and make sound judgment based on facts. Reason. Perception. And imagination. We already have will and memory. The storehouse of your past experiences and knowledge that allows you to recall information and apply to certain experiences. Intentional development of all six can significantly enhance learning, problem solving, and decision making. Bob Proctor. Y'all know about Bob Proctor? Vibration in body, which would be down here. These wavelengths I was doing yesterday. So let's just say if the wave is, this says vibration, but we can say frequency. Doing personality, which is our personal reality, which is our perception. But this is decided by this. So equals controls the action and behavior part of the personality. Controls the action and behavior of the personality, the personal reality, the perception. I mean, that also limits your imagination. What you think is possible. Um, and then you have the thinking mind, which are thoughts, conceptualizing. It can accept, reject, or originate ideas. This is the thinking mind. So it's perceiving, interpreting, imagining. Accept would be perceive. And reject, I guess. Accept and reject would be perceiving. And originating would be imagining. Contains 6 intellectual factors. Thoughts, faculties. That process your thoughts. When information is impressed with repetition and emotion, it is passed on to the subconscious mind. impressed through repetition and emotion is passed on to the subconscious mind. When information is impressed through repetition, repeated action, and emotion, repeated action is holding the vibration. Well, that's emotion. Repetition, that would be will, acting, repetition, and emotion, holding it. So that's memory from action. When information is impressed, it's passed to the subconscious mind. So anytime you repeat something with enough emotion, it gets embedded into your subconscious mind. And that feelings. I was just talking about this on TikTok Live last night. If you know how to name your feelings, if you don't even know what it is in your body, and you don't name them, you don't bring awareness to it, and we don't attach to them either, then we can't heal it. We can't break the loop, break the pattern. You have to be able to bring awareness to those feelings, understand them, and then create new ones as well. Because when you have enough repetition and emotion behind it, it goes into your subconscious mind. This is where we're able to reprogram our mind. He always depicts us with four limbs. I'm assuming they're limbs. He never went in deeper into what those lines were. Your actions cause conditions, circumstances, your environment, and results. Cause effect. Intellect, emotions, and so then this would be will. Interesting. I mean, it's Bob Proctor. And I get what he drew, but I feel like this could be a lot better, which is why I've been repeatedly drawing this over and over. I feel like it's not the right angle. I don't think it's the right angle. I think we can improve on it. Um, the mind and body, but we're still missing the fact that they're soul, the spirit. Yes. Your thoughts become an idea. The idea causes emotion. But the thing, it's like missing the fact that, like, yeah, thoughts become an idea, but it only becomes that because of your memory, the story you tell yourself. Like, it's skipping some things in here. It's not fully showing everything because we can perceive and imagine to originate an idea. Results cause thoughts. We perceive in memory. Because when you have a thought, you perceive, you imagine, or it comes from your memory. And you only receive this information because of that. So, intellect. Intellect. Okay. So, thought comes in, your thought becomes an idea. Your idea is processed, translated. And then from there, your idea and thoughts cause emotions. All right, I'm gonna jump on TikTok from here. Nobody's in here right now. If you, for some reason, are watching this live, thanks for sticking around this long. This is just to get my watch time hours up, so I don't expect anybody to watch this after it's posted because these are all recorded, and I probably will not even keep this one up. Um, this will kind of be like a limited. Whenever I pop in like this, I won't record them. They'll just be privated. So thank you all who joined me on here. Do appreciate y'all sticking around. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna get off of here. Mm. That better not be that squirrel.